Good evening. Welcome to the Old Golden Chat. Back for what I believe to be episode 30. Liam, how are you, mate?
Yeah, mate. All good. What about you?
Tired. Tired. I've literally just got back from football, as you already know. I just got back from football. Had a good little run around with the work lot. And it's time to get a little poddy out before I get to bed and get back up at 5 o'clock in the morning. How was your week been, mate? Have you had a good day? I know you went away for Mother's Day.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, just camping in the van. Yeah. And then
Nice.
watching that Wolves game yesterday.
It wasn't the worst Wolves game in the world. We've had far worse this season. So, not the worst. I think we should probably get straight into it, shouldn't we, really?
Yeah.
Wolves 2, Brentford 2. It was a very Jekyll and Hyde performance for me. It was a game of two halves. You've got Wolves having probably the worst half of football that I've seen us play in the first half. And then second half, they were electric, absolutely electric. What are your thoughts, Liam? We'll start off with that first half.
First half, mate, I just wanted to turn it off. I wasn't glad I won at the game. 2 goals we conceded were just so poor to a point where, like that the goal where I think it was the first one where Keanu Potter's crossing it in, Coyote's headering it in. Like their 2 wing backs are creating and scoring the goal, and there's not one tackle or one press on the ball. It's just not good enough. And if you go to the Championship, that has to improve, otherwise we ain't going to find it so easy.
Yeah, I think you have to look at the goal itself, and there were so many casualties to that goal. You can't pinpoint one person. I mean, the 2 people for me that really let the team down with that were Jackson Dachua and Hugo Bueno.
Yeah,
like that ball should not be coming in from that area. Not a chance. You should be showing him down the line.
we spoke about Keanu Potter and how well he plays against us. Like, it's like he only performs against us. It's like he's a Baggies fan, do you know what I mean? Like, how have they not realised, or that when they're watching Brentford, that's a danger that we've got to stop? Like, I thought Semedo was bad at stopping crosses, but Chichua, he's took Semedo to a whole new level.
It's such a player where you just want to grab him and shake him, don't you, and say, look, come on, get closer to you, man. Stop the crosses. Use your pace. Take players on.
How many times have you said that this season, though? Like, it baffles the life out of me.
Yeah, the problem is, right, it's that cliche, isn't it? Like, if you had end product and if he could defend unbelievably well, he wouldn't be playing for Wolves, would he? He'd be in a top 4 team, because he has got the physical attributes to be a really, really good player, a really smart player. Up there, the footballing brain just doesn't tick sometimes. Yes, Hugo Bueno losing Michael Coyote, running into the box. And, I mean, we've got 3 centre-backs, and not one of them got up high enough to even try and distract Igor Thiago from heading the ball.
Yeah, he was free as well, weren't he?
Yeah. There were questions with the offside, weren't there, really? Because if it would have clipped off his head, it would have been ruled out. But, like, how did he drift in between 2 defenders himself, even though he was offside? Drifted in between 2 defenders, pulled 2 defenders to him, and then Hugo Bueno not tracking his run into the box is really, really poor. And that first goal was just a calamity of errors, and he could have got so much worse. And he probably did, to be honest, with the second goal.
But it's like Edwards was a defender, weren't he? You'd think that these little bits will start to get ironed out. You'd hope that they get ironed out. Would you blame Jose Sarr a little bit for that goal as well? Do you think he can see that as captain? He's got the vision of what those defenders aren't going to see. Surely he's got to be pulling those defenders in where he wants them to be before that crosses even came in.
I think it's hard, isn't it, sometimes? I don't think Jose Sarr had his best game in a Wolves shirt. You could tell that injury really had played on him.
Yeah, he was limping a bit.
Injury. Couldn't even kick the ball at one point, could he? He had to get Krejci to take the goal kick. It's just, for me, the whole first half was just a calamity. It was really bad. And it was unfortunate, actually, because there was little moments of the first half where, like, when we brought the ball forward and got it through the midfield press and played football, we actually looked okay. But as soon as we get that ball in midfield, that transition of getting it from midfield to attackers, we really, really struggle. And we struggled so badly yesterday with Brentford in that first half. But yeah, then I think we should probably move on to the second goal. Like, the thing is, it was written in the stars, wasn't it? Like, everybody's talked this season about Brentford and how if they can't play through you, they'll play over you.
Yeah.
It's so simple. I mean, Kelleher, by the way, what a player. What a keeper he is. He's a very, very good pickup for them. And he's just one ball over the top. And Dango Watara, someone who I, at the start of the season, was bemoaning Brentford, saying how have they spent £42 million on a player? That touch was worth £42 million alone, to be honest. But again, when you're talking about that, we've got three physical presences as big statures of centre backs. You've got a right back who's the fastest right back in the league, and the ball's just come straight over the top. Dango Watara's run straight through the middle of him. Perfect touch on the outside of his boot. You've got to give it to him. And again, he's dragged two defenders over, left space, and Igor Thiago has literally just wandered in at the back stick and just waited for the pass because he knew it was going to come, because them two formed a really, really solid partnership. And for as bad as what the first goal was, we should not get beaten like that for that second goal.
No. But like you say, if Tuchel was that high up because we'd been on the attack and they've countered us with that long ball over, fair enough, but we should be settled in position. Like, the centre half should be calling him where they want him to be. He should be realising where he needs to be, where his wingers there. Like, there weren't even a thought that he's got to be desperately, like, he should be running his socks off to get in there to stop that attack, and it just weren't there. It just baffles me that these professional players can play like that, and we can't keep going down 2-0. And then, like Nat said, we go down 2-0, and then we just turn it around and play with freedom. They need to stop that, and that's got to stop for me.
Yeah, it's a weird position to be in, and I think you've brought up a really good point with this, because currently at this moment in time, with the way that we set up under Rob Edwards, it's too negative in the first half, and I'm not even criticising Rob Edwards here, because at the end of the day, over the last 6 games, we're playing really, really well. And I think we have took a bit of a turn, and you can see the style of football that he's trying to play now, which is a good thing. But we, especially preparing for next season, and I think we're both under no illusions, and it would be so good to sit here saying we're back and the race is on and we're going to stay up. But as realistic as fans as we can be, you have to be preparing for next season. And for me, if we're in the Championship, we have to be starting games on the front foot. Yeah. We cannot be playing 45-minute games next year, because the Championship will eat you alive if you're not switched on for 90 minutes. And it seems to me that this is a tactical thing. It's stay in the game, pass the ball around, don't let teams just hammer at us for 45 minutes. Just be defensively solid, don't get broken down easily, which is all fine and good. And against those big teams, of your Villas, dare to say, Villa is a big team, but when you're playing against your Villas, your Arsenals, your Liverpools, as we've done in recent weeks, who are right up there, it's okay to allow a little bit of pressure, because we know we're not going to control games. But when we are playing teams like Brentford, and this is not discrediting Brentford, they've been fantastic this season, absolutely fantastic. But I don't think you can afford to sit back and let them put pressure on you, because, again, the movements in the midfield for the first half were very good, but that transition from midfield to attack, we were lacking. And we've just got to get out of this bad habit, because you can't keep going in 0-0 or losing the game and then have a spirited fight back, because as good as it looks to the press and as good as it looks to the rest of the league that we're, spoiling people's seasons on our way down, we have to prepare for next season, even if that is in the Premier League, which it won't be. But even if that is in the Premier League, what messages are you sending to the players if they think that next season, out of 38 games, they're only going to play 45 minutes of football for those 38-minute games? What do you think of the situation, Mark?
Yeah, and like you say, like that transition from midfield to attack, like Armstrong had one chance in that first half, and he buries it. Bellegarde did really well on the turn. He drives up the pitch. That's what we know he's got in his locker. The ball to Armstrong's feet was superb, and he knocks it in, doesn't he? Great finish. But we know Armstrong can do that. He needs the chances, and like we said about Tolu and maybe Larson beforehand, he needs the chances. And against Brentford, that was up to really Bellegarde and Mane to create those half chances or big chances for him to finish. And it just went there. And I know Bellegarde created the one, but to me, I want more. I don't want him just to create something out of nothing when we're 2-0 down already and the game's lost. I think that was our only shot was on target.
Only shot to the first
You
half.
need
Well, no,
to be
apart from
creating
Mane's.
a bit more than that if you're going to want to be a solid team, especially when we're going down in the Championship. You need to be creating and be a bit more free flowing just to push that other team back, because I feel like Brentford was just going up and up and up, weren't they, up the pitch?
Yeah. You could see the defensive line just kept getting higher, and Coyote was just pushing for. He was running rings in that first half around Hugo Bueno. Every time he bombed forward, like Mane couldn't keep up with him, and there was kind of a little bit of confusion between Bueno and Mane, who was meant to be tracking him at different points within the game in different phases of play.
I think I'd say he impressed me throughout the whole game, and the only thing that first half was, I think Andre, Joe, Santi and Krejci was really good in that, like, very deep on the ball, weren't they? Like, they were quite slick with the ball movements, and there was times where I think, oh man, I'm going to give it away here. And they managed to riddle out or take a man on and beat that little bit of a press. I thought that was really good to try and stick to that even more so. But that was like the slight positive for me the entire game.
Yeah.
Did you see the goal about our goal where they was trying to call for the pass back?
It was a pass back, mate.
Yeah.
100%.
How
It was
did
a
they not
pass
check
back.
that?
He
How
couldn't,
did
could
that
he? Because it's not, because that wasn't an attacking phase of play. AR can't get involved.
But weren't that like only a few passes before the ball into Bellegarde?
Yeah, so I think VAR did check it, but they can't intervene because it's not an attacking phase of play. And they said because there was an intent to try and win the ball from the Brentford attacker, and he did catch the ball. That's if they were allowed to be involved, there would have been a signal to say there was something. That's what I heard from the commentary team anyway.
Yeah. Debatable, that, yeah.
Like 100% a pass back. 100%. I would be fuming if that went against us. So, do you know what? On our way out of the Premier League, at least we're getting the rub of the green sometimes, aren't we? But I think we should definitely move on to that Adam Armstrong goal and just have a little talk about Adam Armstrong himself, to be honest. Because, as you've already said, Bellegarde, he did really well when he picked up the ball and drove through the middle and did everything that we ask of him. And actually, the pass was very good because it allows Adam Armstrong to have two options. He could have controlled and taken it down the left, which was the way that he was running. But he's such an intelligent footballer, and he's very, very quickly becoming one of our better players, dare I say it, because his movement's good, his work rate's good. You know he can finish when given the opportunity. And that first touch to bring the ball inside and leaves the defender running the opposite way. And that finish, that is such a hard finish again against such a really good goalkeeper in Cayman Kelleher. And he just lifts the ball over Kelleher, and he looked annoyed at what he'd seen in the first half, and the strikers have been starved of opportunities. And he's shown you how clinical he could be there with one first touch to get the ball out of his feet. Takes his man out the game. That finish, some finish.
Yeah, I think he's going to be an important signing next year. Like, when he first came, it was quite, I wouldn't say negative, but it didn't fill us, a little bit, weren't it? But
yeah,
he's really impressed me, to be fair. And it weren't just that goal on the game that's impressed me, but he's all round playing. I was surprised, really, because when I used to watch him for Southampton, I just used to thought, like, he'll score a goal and that's all he'll do for you. But his first touch is solid, isn't it? Like, it's on point every time, and he's quite clever with his movement. Surprised by his work rate, like you say. Like, I mentioned it against Liverpool when he was smashing tackles. I think he's going to be a very shrewd signing to lead our line next year, to be honest.
Yeah, I think when you look at signings, I think he's very much an integral signing going into the league next year, regardless. That could be in the Premier League. And look, I'm not saying Wolves will stay up. I will reiterate that till my face is blue. Wolves will not be staying up, but if we were to stay up and he was leading our line next year, I wouldn't be whinging about it, because he's a sort of player where, you know, when we've tried to play Hwang in a forward two, and I'm trying not to discredit Tolu here, but if you had a more competent / Premier League striker who's experienced, they could form a really formidable partnership. I mean, I'm not saying he will come back, but if you had someone like Raul Jimenez, who spent plenty of years in the Premier League, got the experience, scored goals before, there is easily the way that Adam Armstrong is intelligent enough and is a good channel forward to be able to play those balls into another striker and move and drag defenders with ease. He's such an intelligent footballer, and credit goes to the club because I think that was probably a hard deal to pull off. And I think in other scenarios when Jeff Shee was in charge, those deals wouldn't have been done because he would have had to go down the George Mendes route. He wouldn't have listened to scouts. He wouldn't have wanted the English proven forward. And yeah, fair play to the club for replacing Strand Larsen, who was, he may not have been good this year, but was a very good striker last year. And if you've got to prepare for next season and you can go and get someone of the calibre of Adam Armstrong, who we know will score at least 50 goals minimum next year if we were to go down, very shrewd signing. Under £10 million. Like I say, Jeff Shee would have been put off by that price. He would have been haggling it down to £4 million, and he would not have taken that deal. Would not have taken it. I think the one thing I do want to move on to just before the second half, mate, is the Rob Edwards change. He got it spot on. Matthias Mane, all credit goes to him because he's been absolutely fantastic ever since he came into the team. But he needs the rest. You can see that mentally he was fatigued. You could see that he couldn't quite follow the instructions that were being given to him. I think he was meant to be starting in that kind of supporting 10 role, but just found himself dropping deeper and deeper away and leaving Adam Armstrong isolated. And this isn't a battering ram at Matthias Mane. He's a talented footballer, but it just needed to be taken out of the limelight. He was getting bullied, and these games were always going to happen. They were going to come. Well, it's a learning curve, and we know we will absolutely see the best out of Matthias Mane in the near future. I'm so confident of it. And fair play to Rob Edwards for being brave, because it was a brave decision taking off a player that Wolves fans have got very close to the hearts at the minute. And fair play to Angel Gomez, because he was ridiculously good in that second half.
It was weird, wasn't it? Because Angel Gomez is one of them players where I just can't pinpoint what position I want him to play, because there'll be times where I feel like he's not strong enough for the Premier League at the moment in centre mid, but then not that, attackably, instinctively in the final third. But yesterday's game, he just seemed to slot in super.
He did the one thing that Matthias Mane was struggling. He got close to Adam Armstrong.
Yeah.
He gave an option, and this is where as much as I slagged him off for his first half, well, both of them off for their first half performances, Rob Edwards has obviously told the wing backs at the break, get forward, make yourself available, give Angel Gomez an option, because if you put yourself in space, Angel Gomez and João Gomez will both find you. And I know we had about 5 or 6 weeks, or probably even a bit more longer than that. We were talking about João Gomez's lack of passing range. Don't know what he's been eating recently, mate, because those balls, those little on the floor balls, they're reaching Jackson Tatua 9 times out of 10. And we look a better football team going forward, dare I say it, when we've actually got Jackson Tatua running on to a football, like using the thing that he's been given, his athleticism, and Hugo Bueno bombing it down the wings and whipping balls in the box. And look, like I said earlier, Jackson Tatua, he couldn't cross for Toffee. He couldn't. But even put himself in those right positions, one of those chances will come off. And it almost did, because that little reverse ball where João Gomez had whipped it down the line, was it? You might have been Angel Gomez, but one of the Gomez's, one of the many that we have, with the ball down the line. Jackson Tatua smartly gets in behind his defender and cuts the ball back to Adam Armstrong just towards the edge of the box. And dare I say, for all the praise I've just given Adam Armstrong, I think he probably shot the wrong way.
Yeah, I agree.
He hit the post, and I think Kelleher was always diving to his right. And I think if he would have aimed for the near post there, I think it would have been 2-2. And I think we would have possibly gone on to win the game.
Yeah, I'd have backed Armstrong to finish that, to be fair. From what he's shown us and what he's shown at Southampton, I think he knows that he should have buried that one.
I think he was just trying to be too cute with it, wasn't he?
Yeah.
But, yeah.
And then Tolu's equaliser was just a clever... How many times have we said that Tolu just needs that service in the box? He just peeled off of the back post, and then it was a great finish, to be fair to him.
It was a really good finish. And I'll tell you what I liked about it. I don't think the ball was aimed for him. I think the ball was aimed for Krejci in the box,
Yeah.
and he just followed his instincts. And I think sometimes he's been a bit guilty of that, of just trying to overplay sometimes and want the ball to come to his feet or want to try and take the ball down. This time he just went for it. He just got himself in a natural striker's position. And he did really well, because you have to remember how tall Tolu is. And he's diving, he's heading for that ball at such a height, and he just bullet headers it in. It's a brilliant goal. It's a brilliant team goal. And to be honest, I wasn't expecting it, especially not after the first half. I absolutely loved it. The missus was jumping for joy. We had shout out to Aaron. I had Aaron round, and he was bouncing. It's just, look, it was fantastic. It was fantastic to have. And the balls went and broke my heart again 2 minutes later when I whipped that ball in and it crashed off the bars. But that is the beauty of football, and that is why we are football fans. And I think if there's one thing that fans from different clubs will talk about as of next season, when we are probably no longer in the Premier League, irregardless, I think our fans have been fantastic throughout a good majority. Like, I've never seen a team be as down as what we have, apart from in and around that protest era kind of thing. We were obviously annoyed at the club, and then as soon as the change happened, as soon as Jeff Shee left the club, it was like a weight was lifted off the shoulders, pardon me. And I know the fans needed something to believe in, and the players needed the backing, but it was just, I think ever since then, ever since we needed the change, and the change came, you have to give all credit to the fans, because home and away, I think we've been really good, away especially. To all of those fans who travelled to London on a horrible Monday night, fair play to you, because look, you go into a Lego stadium with no atmosphere, it's always going to be hard to get into. Your team are 2-0 down. The players just need something to cling on to. And those away fans, and they have been all season, have been absolutely fantastic. And they're a credit to the club, the away fans. I know I'll go myself as and when I can. I know you've been to a few yourself, but our club is something special. We need to take this and roll with it into next season, because you can see it's lifting the players. Like, as soon as Tolu crashed the header off the bar, look, it was agonising, but the fans were straight behind him, and you could see it. Like, he wanted to get involved in the game, and he wanted to go and grab a winner for us, and it didn't come off. But that's why the players got the round of applause at the end of the game. That's why Rob will take him over to the fans, because they deserve the plaudit.
Yeah, you've nailed it there, mate. Totally agree with everything that you've said.
It is though, isn't it? Look, it's nice to see, and that is all we have said constantly on this podcast this year. And I know it's been doom and gloom for everyone, and it won't be nice going down to the Championship, and it's a crap league. The standard's awful, but look, we can be proud as fans at this point. Like, when you can see your team fighting, and as soon as that derby record's been broken, it's like the shackles have gone. They're going for it. Why not? Why not? Are we going to finish above Burnley, Liam? That's the bad thing.
No, I can't see why not. I think that we can, to be fair. I feel like they can just derail off. Whereas I think some of our players, I think they know that they can have that extra move, don't they? And they can get another kind of big move again, where I think we'll start to see rumours hotting up again.
Yeah.
And if Joe and Andre keep up that form that, we loved them for last year, and what we've been, being negative towards them because they haven't been showing it like that, we need that to carry on, because I think when them two are on it, it just sets the tone for the whole team. And we've got some good games coming up where I do fancy us to get some results. Just a little bit too late, isn't it? Like, it's a big gutting that we're not in the race, because I feel like with the running, like West Ham and Tottenham and Leeds and Sunderland and Fulham, man, I think we could have had a really good chance there to win. But I think Jackie Oakley tweeted it maybe, and she was just saying like that first 6 weeks, or she said like the 6 weeks of Rob Edwards coming in was like a second pre-season, because we was just so underwhelming at the start of the season. Yeah. And it's just finished off our season, hasn't he? Yeah. Already.
Little question for you.
Yeah.
If the Great Escape was on, if the Great Escape was possible, what is there, 7 games left, I believe. How many of those 7 games do you think we would have to categorically win for a chance to stay up?
Difficult question, because West Ham just look like they can keep picking up points, and they're just not getting at the relegation zone, are they? No. I feel like Forest and Tottenham, I feel like they'll just slowly draw a few to creep up, aren't they? I think Tottenham are get rid of their manager soon, and they might have a bit of a bounce. I think they'll get out of it.
Yeah.
I think it'll be Forest. I think West Ham will finish above them. I think you're going to be looking at least 37 points, isn't you? And what we on now? 9,
Currently on 17.
17.
So you need 20
Looking at
points out of
20
7
points.
games.
That's absolutely impossible.
Yeah, I think
Well,
so.
that great escape will never, ever, ever in a million years be beaten. Just say right down.
No.
What do you think? We've got no chance, have we?
We've got no chance. It's just hypothetically. Hypothetically, I think if you won, or if you won 6 games from now, how many points would that leave you on?
I'll wait for you to work it out. 35, mate.
I just keep getting loads of stuff pop up on my thing. Yeah, I think Chelsea's sending me some Instagram reels. Will that leave us on 35? Is that right?
35.
Trusting you, you're a teacher. This better be right. So yeah, if we won 6 games, that'd leave us on 35 points, which that would mean in the next 8 games, because obviously we're a game ahead.
Yeah.
Your teams of your West Hams, your Forest, your Spurs would, they would only be winning 1 or 2 of those games. And you're at a city stage of the season now where teams just pick up points for no apparent reason. Then you've obviously got teams who go on the beach, and look, it's probably not going to happen. But if we do win 7 games out of 7, then there's definitely a chance that we're so back and we're going to stay.
As if you've said that line.
I know it's not going to happen, but do you know what? As stupid as that sounds, I'm just proud to be a Wolves fan again. I think there was points in this season where I've said to you at the games, I'm finished. I'm just so done and so tired this season, so lethargic. And I'm happy again because the players are putting in a shift. The players are giving us something to feel proud of, and I can deal with that. I'm happy with that. But I think we should swiftly move on. There is a 25 days between now and our next football game. Obviously, there's internationals within that, I believe. How do you think that'll have an impact on the players?
Well, I think it depends on who's being called up internationally, doesn't it? Because I know Brazil are playing. I couldn't tell you what players have been called up, but you're going to be losing a few of them, aren't you? So Rob Edwards ain't going to get them to work with. Is it a time where we could probably move and try a back four? But that's then debatable because you could lose your form, and then if you lose, we've seen it, haven't we? You have a bad end to the season, you just start, carries on. So I don't know if that will be enough time for him to work with, not a full squad. I'd like to see us have a better tactic on a long throw. I'd like to see something happen where we're not just stupidly throwing the ball in and giving it away. Mosquera's not, beating the first man on the throw. And I think at times we've got one of the worst long throws in the league.
You've just watched 90 minutes of Michael Coyote and got excited, ain't you?
No, but there's the teams that can use that long throw could be a bit of a weapon.
Yeah.
I'd like to see that influenced a little bit more. I'd like to see, I'm not saying necessarily wingers, but I'd like to see them given some tactical notes to how they can get involved in the game a bit more when the game is a bit gritty and it's like a bit end to end, but teams are giving the ball away softly.
And how do you think it'll affect the team? Because we're on a really decent run of form. I think if I believe we're right, we're like 7th in the form table over the last 6 games. Do you think the break's coming at the wrong time for us?
I wouldn't necessarily say that because I feel like it can't get any worse than it previously had. So I feel like those players are going to be quite positive for now for these 3 weeks. Yeah. It might make them want to play more, and it might give them a bit of a boost to, kick-start again because they've missed kind of that buzz of the match day experience. So what do you think?
I think I swing the other way in terms of I think realistically it's come at the wrong time. Look, we've played games thick and fast recently. I know the players look a little bit tired, a little bit leggy at times, but we're on a bit of a purple patch at the minute. And when you talk about our next game being West Ham, and I know they're on a decent run of form, to be fair, and they don't look easy to beat. Whilst we've got a bit of momentum, and whilst Wolves are scoring goals, I think it's the perfect time to play them next week. In 25 days' time, you have to, like I say, some of the players now are going to go home, go and see the families, going to go and spend time away from the club, and they will be given a break. There's no doubt about that, and they've deserved the break over the last 6 weeks. They've really put a shift in. But you just want them to play, don't you? It's so weird as well. Look, why we're at this stage in the season and we've got a 25-day break. You've got, what was it, the Champions League round of 16 we've been playing today.
Yeah.
We've got the Carabao Cup final the weekend. Why have we got a 25-day break?
Yeah, that's why, because we should have had Arsenal.
Yeah, but even then, why is there like a 14-day break? You don't need internationals now. The World Cup's coming in a couple of months. Like, I don't care about the internationals. I really don't. I'm a Wolves fan through and through. I don't care about the internationals, but I know that's selfish. But it's just, don't know. That's
at least it might give us 3 weeks of practicing how to block across, mate, because that's becoming a bit of a joke. So yeah, I'm all for, please, Rob Edwards, please, that next game, and we're playing against Bowen and Somerville and Diouf on the left. Please help us stop across. That's all I want. I want us blocking crosses, man.
Yeah, we've got to be winning them headers because Souček. I mean, I know we will do a West Ham preview close to the time, but my God, we've got a good record against them this season. We've got a good record. We've beat them in the Carabao Cup. We've beat them in the league at home. Can we? Can we go and get the double over a team in our worst season going? You think we can?
I think they'll get that result, mate. I think we can't. We're going to end up just going 1 or 2 in the goals there, and I can't see us getting it back out of that game.
No.
And they're quite good on the wings. We know what Nuno's like, getting the ball out wide. Yeah. I can see them beating us this time.
He's notorious for making games hard, isn't he? We just have to see it. We're fair, but like I say, we'll do a match preview closer to the time. I think moving on to our last piece of news for the night, it was revealed by Nathan Shee earlier this week that season tickets will be taking a reduction, which is obviously a positive time for us all. And to paraphrase what Nathan Shee said, he explained that there will be, on average, about a 25% reduction in adult season ticket prices this year.
Yeah.
There will be a bigger reduction on child's and infants' prices, and he really wants to make sure that wherever we are next season, the Championship, wherever we are next season, the stadium's still full. The support that we have at the minute is ongoing, and that he knows that kids are the future of Wolverhampton, and we can't starve the kids of seeing a good football team and a local football team suffer. For as much as we have criticised First on this channel, and will continue to criticise when the time is right, fair play, because I think they've got it right. What do you think of the reductions, mate? Do you agree? Do you think there should be more?
I'm happy with the 25%. I wouldn't say like I'd be desperate for more. I'm just happy that we've got that amount, to be honest with you, because I weren't trusting the club to make any deductions, if I was being honest, because I don't think I'm that far away from them. I don't want to hear anything about them, but like you say, you've got to put your hands up and say fair play, because that was, a good decision, a decision that had to happen. They couldn't have gone and made it even more, because they all kept it, frozen. So they had to decrease it. And like you say, like you're in the Championship, how many stadiums do you see on the Championship that are just, playing dead because them on Sky TV every week, and the grounds are half empty and the atmospheres are bad? So we had to do that, and I'm glad he did, because like how many supporters have we lost because of being able to afford it? And like you say, these young kids that are wanting to watch Wolves, like we was all there one day, just wanting to go to any game just to watch our players play. You need them to come up and try and help that club push even further. They had to do, didn't they?
You yourself, being a young father, you'll want to take your kid to the Wolves one day, and so seeing this type of news will allow people like yourself and other young parents to really want to get their children interested in Wolverhampton Wanderers, because they are going to be the future of the club. We're not always going to be here forever. So look, fair play to Nathan Shee and the other executives for listening to the fan groups, listening to the supporters trust, and opening communication and listening to fans, because it could have gone one or two ways, realistically. They could have listened to the fans and thought, we're just trying to take us for a ride. They'll still be here next season, regardless of the prices. Let's just leave it as it is. But to to listen, to learn, to communicate. I believe they're opening up fan forums now, so it won't just be like fan channels. It'll be like 200 people can go and speak and ask the club about the project in the future and what we expect of the club, and that is all positive signs. Long may it continue, because we've been starved of communication for so long.
Yeah, like you mentioned about cheaper prices for the kids to go. They need to do that. We don't want the kids keep watching football on the telly and seeing Chelsea, United, Liverpool.
Yeah.
They're going to be armchair fans, aren't they? You need the younger generation to get into the grounds. The Championship's a hard ground. Like when you go in there, you need everything to be positive. If the fans are on the backs already because the prices have stayed the same, because you have an extra, 6 games at home or whatnot, you're going to have, it's going to be harder for those players, probably young players, because we might be going down the route of signing young players again. It's going to be harder for them dropping to the Championship and having that pressure.
Yeah.
Added on to that with the fans being frustrated with the club as well.
Yeah.
And so it is important to have the fans, settled, ready for that new season. And I think for the greater good of the club and to give us the best possible chance next year, I think it needed to happen. Did you hear about Coventry City today with their fans?
No, I haven't, mate.
Apparently, like in 2023 or something like that, the ownership had said that season ticket holders then could do like a 5-year lease of 1,000 ticket prices, but if they go up, they get like a free season ticket. And I think the owner's come out today saying it's still going ahead. That's good out there.
Yeah, it is. I mean, they was ground sharing with Birmingham at one point, so God knows what prices they was paying to the club. But yeah, it's nice. It's nice to finally be able to see. Yeah, it's nice to have some positive reaction to the Wolves, like I say, not just on the pitch but off the pitch, and long may it continue. And all credit goes to Nathan Shea at the minute, because I think he knows he's not a football fan, and from what the reports were saying and from what the Wolves put out, he's got people with football experience in and around him, and he wants to learn, which is something that obviously his predecessor, the clown, never wanted any help. He thought he was above and beyond people who've worked in football for predominantly most of their lives. And look, we all know I'm an avid Football Manager player, but like, he thought that he could sit behind a screen and run a football club like he's playing Football Manager. Doesn't work out like that. But yeah,
I've got one question for you then. You know about the 3-week break. Do you think this is time where we can add even more some of those young academy players and try and get them up to first team squad ready?
I think a lot of the youngsters will be training with the first team. I think obviously you got Tom Ediozo, who's scored that brilliant goal against Arsenal. I think you might see the likes of maybe like Danny Angel maybe getting in and about it. I've seen his name floated around a couple of times now, and he's scoring consistent goals, and he has done for the last couple of years. I think physicality-wise, he's probably not big enough. He's probably not strong enough for the Premier League. Even to be in and around it, I think would be good. I like Ethan Sutherland, but I think he's blown a bit cold recently. He hasn't been in amongst it, but I believe he's playing at wing back now. But
yeah, he is.
Yeah, I think they'll chuck a few academy players into the training, and you're obviously going to have your players like Totti Gomez who need to get back up to speed, and you'll want Rodrigo Gomez fit and firing for when we come back. And I think his impact off the bench, by the way, in recent weeks is like, at what point are we going to be saying that Rodrigo Gomez needs to be starting? Maybe in that 10 where Mateus Mane is. Maybe we have to drop him a little bit deeper. Maybe he needs that rest. Who knows? This is what Rob Edwards gets paid for. But I could definitely see some youngsters being pushed hard now. There's the centre midfielder I like as well, Luke Rawlings. I think he's got potential. I really like him. From even just seeing the pre-seasons, I think he's got a lot of potential. I do like him. Any players that you want to pick out before we sign off, mate?
I think the right back. Is it Aladua? Yeah.
Akadua. Where's Akadua?
Yeah. I could. I'd like to maybe see him. I don't know about giving a chance, but I wonder if he could have a go at right back, because I don't like the options that we've got there. Yeah, so I'd maybe like to see Akadua play there.
It's a bit unfortunate, because we've got like Pedro Lima, who still hasn't really been given a chance, has he?
It's mad, eh? It must be something. Like I said before, it must be on the training ground. Do you see a way where they do play? If 3 or 4 games in, we're down. We've lost a bit of form. Do you see where they just come into it to see what they can have?
I think it all depends if players like Pedro Lima are here next year, to be honest.
Yeah.
Again, look, where's Akadua?
It's good, eh? It's good that we can name about 5 or 6 young players thinking we could be interested to see them next year. I'm not saying they're all going to fit in and they're all going to play a part, but it's good to know that we've got those players ready, because you see it in the Championship, don't you, that if they have a few youngsters come through, they have a bit of energy and a bit of rawness to the team that can just turn over their form again.
Yeah. I mean, look, they only need to get a half chance. You've seen it twice this season. Mateus Mane has been given a half chance and scored a couple of goals. Tom Diosi's come on out of nowhere against Arsenal, cropped up with a 95th minute equaliser. Look, kids, I say kids in inverted commas because they're all like 20-plus-year-olds, but they just need senior minutes of football to really understand where they belong in the men's game. So, yeah, I mean, you've obviously got players like Alfie Pond, who's doing really, really well on loan at Crewe. I know it's obviously a different league, but look, he's a youngster who, if we do end up losing the likes of Mosquera, whatever, next year, look, he could be right up there to try and stake a place, to try and get into that Championship team. Look, when one door closes on players who are going to be leaving the team, another opportunity opens for youngsters, and I'm glad some of them have gone out and got some proper and senior football. There's another chap, Temple Alakanja, I believe his name is. I think he's on loan at Shrewsbury. I'm planning to have a little check-up, and maybe we could do a little video of a little loan watch or something, potentially, in the future.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, right. Before we sign off, there will be an episode either next week or the week after. We're not going to leave you high and dry for 25 days just because Wolves aren't playing. We will be back. We have a little video idea for you all. Hopefully we can get another couple of faces involved and we can try and incorporate some sell, keep and loan for the current crop of players for what we're probably going to presume is Championship football next year. But Liam, thank you very much for jumping on tonight.
That's fine.
I hope
I've got a few players on ready to sell.
Leave Jackson Thatcher alone. No, thank you very much. But yes, thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for watching this week's podcast. Please make sure you like, subscribe and share. Please feel free to interact with us on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. Let us know what you think about the match. Let us know what you think about how we react to match reactions. If there's anything you want us to improve, anything you want us to see on the channel, get them down in the comment section down below. Thank you all for watching. This has been the Old Golden Chat. See you next week.